This is a very, very nice bit of history here. This is an Ampex 600 preamp that used to be part of a very old tape machine. So built in the, I think, late 50s or early 60s. I might have that wrong, but it's very, very, very old. And these days they're much sort of sought after as the tape machines are not used anymore, but these things are still used because as preamps for recording purposes, especially for microphones. And it's amazing. It's let's just have a look inside. It's a real jungle inside there. But look at these really, really old, massive components. So everything these days is kind of like about a third the size of these things. And also things tend to be wired onto PCB boards rather than having this jungle of wires. I kind of prefer it like this, and I kind of like trying to relate the circuit diagram to this kind of this tangle of wires. So I managed to get the circuit diagram. It was the customer luckily had it. So this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see that. Let's put it up here actually. So it looks nice and tidy on here. So basically kind of what's happening is you've got well, down here, let's start with this bit. This is the power section. So you've got, this is the mains coming in. You've got the transformer, which is this thing down here, this big heavy magnet, and a bit of chunk of steel down there. So the transformer there, that kicks out a high AC voltage. It's then converted into DC with this this large valve here that's called a rectifying valve. That's in the corner, I think. So yeah, it's that one there. This is the underside of the valves where you wired them in. So they're actually coming out the top of the chassis, and they're these kind of glass tubes. I'll show you them in a minute. And then it's sort of kicking out very high DC voltages. The DC is smooth there with these capacitors, and then they supply all the valves, and each one of these is a valve. So you've got, what happens is you've got the microphone in is coming in, the signal's coming in, and every time it goes through a valve stage it's amplified, and the signal comes out at the anode side. So on the very, very high DC voltage, positive voltage, the signal comes out amplified, goes through a coupling capacitor, goes through another stage like this. So it's going in through the grid, coming out through the anode. Now, I did make another video on how valves work. At this stage the signal is split in two, so you can go there for the record out, or you can come out here for a sort of monitor out, and there's a selector switch down here, so it can take a feed from the tape machine playing, or this signal, or the mic signal coming in, goes through two more valves and then goes out for the output. So it looks very neat and tidy on the diagram, but when you actually look inside in the machine itself, it takes a bit of while tracing out. Takes a while to trace out exactly what's happening, but basically it's something like this. Signal's coming in, goes through here, and you got this kind of line of valves. So along here, 1, 2, I think. Well, that's what they look on this side. If you look on this side, you've got they're sort of, they're not dangling down. Sometimes they dangle down, but these ones are actually on top. So that's what the valve looks like on that side, and this is how it's wired in with these pins. So it goes through one stage, two stage. I think then it goes. In fact, there's a couple of stages in that one. Then it goes to here. It comes to the selectors, monitor select, goes back out again, following the green wire there. There's another valve there, and then it goes through this large, lovely, beautiful, large electrolytic capacitor, and then out through the output, the monitor out. Look at that. That's basically how it works. So, and there is a problem with it, but I'll talk about that in another video.